everyone, my name is Lindsay. I'm a mountain school instructor for North Cascades Institute, and today I get to talk to you a little bit about one of the things that I hold most dear about the natural world, and that is raptors. You might have heard of raptors in relation to birds before. There's a bunch of different birds out there in the world, but there's a lot of things that make raptors really special. So I want you for a second just to think in your brain about what is a raptor, what does it make you think of? For me, a lot of times what first comes to mind is velociraptors, which are dinosaurs and are really cool hunters. But it has a really good connection to raptors, the birds, because raptors are birds of prey. They are also hunters. The word raptor comes from a word that means to seize. So they're seizing their prey up. So in order to be such effective hunters, they have to have a couple adaptations. That is what makes a raptor. And makes them different than other birds out there flopping around like seabirds or songbirds that you might also see and appreciate. So there's three different things we're going to chat about what makes a raptor. So I want you to imagine yourself as a full-on hawk, or maybe an eagle if that suits you a little bit better. And I want you to think about what part of your body you might use in order to capture and kill your prey. Think about it for a sec. You might be thinking about your feet or your hands, depending on the way you oriented yourself as a bird. But raptors have really strong feet and have very sharp talons, as you can see right here. Those sharp talons enable them to hold on to their prey while they use those strong feet in order to literally squeeze their prey to death. So, as you're thinking about this, I want you to take your fists and I want you to squeeze them as hard as you possibly can. You're probably exerting about between 20 and 40 pounds per square inch of pressure with your hands right there. A raptor can exert about 10 times more than that. So a great horned owl can exert about 500 pounds per square inch of pressure. For reference, a great white shark, their jaw bites down at about 600 pounds per square inch of pressure. So they have really strong feet that enable them to squeeze their prey to death. So you have your sharp talons and your strong feet. Now, birds do not have teeth, unlike we do, so they can't chew. So they have to be able to hunt things that are much bigger than them, maybe a rabbit, and be able to figure out a way in order to swallow that rabbit whole. That might require them to rip it up into smaller bits. Now, I want you to put yourself back into your hawk or maybe your owl body this time. I want you to think about what part of your body you might use in order to rip up your prey. Your feet are definitely part of it, but I also want you to think about that sharp hooked beak that you have. Raptors have really distinct sharp hooked beaks. This is an eagle skull. And you can tell that their beak angles down here and comes to a really sharp point. And that enables them to use their beak kind of like a knife in order to rip up their prey. They use their feet kind of like forks, hold it down, and then that beak to rip it up so that they can swallow those pieces whole. So far we have sharp talons and really strong feet, and we have that sharp hooked beak that enable raptors to effectively hunt and kill their prey. The last factor that makes a raptor is how they even find their prey in the first place. So I want you to put yourself back into that owl or eagle or hawk body, whatever one suits you the best. And I want you to think about what part of your body you might use in order to find your prey in the first place. Yeah, a lot of you might be thinking about those nice, strong eagle eyes that are really commonly referred to if you have really sharp vision. Eagles, hawks, owls, they all have really sharp, keen vision that enable them to effectively hunt and kill their prey. If you were a life-sized owl, your eye would be about the size of this, about the size of a grapefruit. I want you to just think about that for a moment. If everyone you came into contact with had eyes about this size. Be pretty funny. But these big eyes help them to be able to see prey from very far distances. An eagle has about 4 to 8 times better eyesight than people do. So I want you to imagine if you were standing on one side of a football field and then you stacked 22 football fields end to end to end to end. An eagle would be able to see a rabbit scurrying around at the end of that 22nd football field. Those sharp vision enables them to find their prey if they're soaring through the woods or soaring up above the lake or above a field above you. So we have this sharp, keen vision. We have those sharp, hooked beaks and those strong, sharp talons that make raptors raptors. So I'm really glad I got to share a little bit about this exciting part of the bird world with you all today. But this doesn't have to end here. You can find out more about raptors by going online or just by opening up your window or your door and looking up. A lot of times you can see eagles and hawks soaring up above you, and take some time to notice these really cool creatures out there. Thanks for joining me.